After the denunciation of electoral fraud by the Citizens' Revolution candidate Luisa Gonzalez, the National Electoral Council of Ecuador proclaimed Daniel Noboa as the elected president of the country. After a process marked by irregularities with the government of Daniel Noboa and the CNE interfering in the electoral exercise. In addition, members of the Citizens' Revolution denounced that the electoral body was uploading the minutes without indents, which is a violation of the electoral law of the country. Likewise, in Ecuador, vice presidential candidate Diego Borja denounced irregularities in the electoral process, pointing out that the exit polls only showed a 2 percentage point difference between the two candidates.
This is an extremely rare result, extremely rare, which gives us elements to say that it is absolutely desired. Look, some facts. There are 11 surveys that gave us the triumph of the binomial of the Citizens' Revolution. There are 2 exit polls, which are the measurements at the polling stations. One gave candidate Noboa the triumph, and the other gave us the triumph. In both cases, with a difference of around 2 percentage points. Neither his nor ours showed major differences. And now that the official results are given, we are with a difference of 12 percentage points in favor of Noboa, when neither the surveys nor their exit poll showed that.
Precisely in this regard, the General Secretary of the Citizens' Revolution Party of Ecuador, Andrés Arauz, denounced through a social media post some of the irregularities detected during the electoral process. Arauz presented evidence of valid violations to the electoral law and showed minutes without proper signatures. He warns, according to the Article 127 of the Code of Democracy, a tally sheet that does not have the joint signature of the President and Secretary of the Board is not valid. However, he continued, the National Electoral Council is uploading minutes without signatures to support the results. In all cases, they are in favor of Noboa. Likewise, the Ecuadorian chapter of the Anti-Fascist International for a New World issue an urgent communique in the face of what they call an electoral coup and neo-fascist attacks. The communique starts by saying, "We denounce with absolute firmness the fraud of the regime and the authoritarian and fascist maneuvers which have marred the presidential elections in Ecuador perpetrated by Daniel Noboa. This electoral fraud is not a simple act of corruption, but the violent imposition of a neo-fascist regime." It goes on to warn that Noboa has used the state apparatus to suppress rights, silence opponents, and fabricate an legitimate victory, all while deploying a strategy supported by mercenaries and groups of privatized repressions that seeks to rule through fear, institutional manipulation, and brute force.